Hi everyone, this is Maya Zahira with PsychicProtectionSanctuary.com. And today I would like to teach you about a very tricky phenomenon that happens with spiritual energy. And this is something that I call spiritual anesthetic. I originally learned about this from one of my past spiritual mentors many years ago. And since then, I've seen many examples of this. So first, let me describe what this is. Spiritual anesthetic is when a negative spiritual force, this can be an entity or a group of entities or a negatively polarized person who's working with a negative intention, someone who is trying to hook in to another person. This can be someone who's astral traveling. So whatever the source, whether it's entities, negative person, when that negative source tries to hook into a person like you, there's this tactic called spiritual anesthetic by which that negative spiritual force will emit feelings of either numbness or bliss, euphoria. This happens all the time at New Age events where there is channeling of entities without proper discernment. This happens at spiritual events where there is sound healing that is vibrating the frequency and there isn't proper discernment of how to keep the space energetically safe. This happens with negative energy healers, dark healers who are secretly working with the dark but pretending to be light workers, who are trying to hook into their clients or their followers. So this happens in many different ways, but the result is that the person or the group of people feel completely blissed out. They are filled with euphoria. Now notice, I'm not saying that they feel grounded and centered and a feeling of like grounded well-being and grounded peacefulness and, being fully present with themselves. No, those kinds of feelings, those grounded, calm, fully present with yourself feelings, those are generally good experiences. But it's this feeling of bliss and euphoria that is a huge red flag. And the result is, so when this negative force is trying to hook into a person, it emits this spiritual anesthetic, this bliss, this euphoria, so that the person or people have no idea that something negative is hooking into them. So not only do they allow it, they invite it usually. They say, oh, wow, this feels wonderful. And they are like, I want more. And I remember years ago, I was on a podcast. I'm very grateful that they had me on their podcast, but they got very hung up on this teaching. And they said, they got very upset and they said, how could bliss be a bad thing? And they just couldn't wrap their minds around the fact that bliss can be used for deception. And it is most often used for deception. So this bliss, this euphoria, causes the person to let their guard down, and this allows that entity or other negative force to fully hook in and have direct access to that person, usually to hook in energy cords and siphon life force energy, but also to hook in energy cords in order to send energies of control or manipulation. So the idea is to get the person to lower their guard so that the negative force will have full access. So hopefully you are open-minded and that you can consider that this is really a red flag. So if you are attending spiritual events, whether they're online or in person, and the whole group is brought into this state of euphoria and bliss, this is a huge red flag. This is why the New Age communities overall are so shockingly infested with false light entities, dark entities pretending to be beings of light. So false light entities, one of their common tactics is this spiritual anesthetic tactic. It's to pretend to be an ascended master or your spirit guide or whatever, and to then emit this bliss into you so that you welcome it in. And then you're hooked. You are hooked. So I just invite you to please consider that bliss and euphoria actually are red flags, that something is trying to hook into you. Okay? Bliss and euphoria is not something that you experience when you are grounded and safe and fully embodied. That means present in your being, present in your body. When you are calm and grounded and fully present in your body, though that state is a beneficial state. So that's the kind of spiritual practices. If you're wanting to do spiritual practices, those are the kinds of spiritual practices to lean towards. So time in nature, or some type of meditation method or spiritual practice that gets you into this calm, balanced, regulated, fully present mode, not where you're spaced out and in total ecstasy, because that's a red flag. Okay, so I just invite you to shift what you think is safe and not safe, and to consider this. So most people who come to my channel are truth seekers. They're questioning, and I'm always encouraging people to question everything, including everything that I say. Question everything. Question the idea that it is okay to and safe to be at these spiritual events with these emotional and spiritual states that are happening. Question what is really happening, and are there any indicators that something might be going wrong there? So hopefully that gives you food for thought. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please share if you've ever had this experience before where something negative was trying to hook into you and it caused you to feel bliss, and maybe you were tricked at first and welcomed it in. I would love to hear your stories. We all learn from each other. So if you would like to go deeper and learn more, I invite you to check out my website, psychicprotectionsanctuary.com. There are many resources on there, books, online programs, and some free resources as well. So, as always, I'm sending you lots of love. Until next time.